Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to unbox the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Bodirsky. This has been out for a little while now, and it's, again, this is a shadow deck. Again, I haven't said it once, but I've kind of talked about it in a couple other videos, I think. So you know what? Let's just get into it, right? The box itself is very sturdy. It is actually rather large, okay? It's almost like a book itself, right? You could set it on the shelf and it would look like a book. It does have a nice magnetic closure, right? And then here we go, it opens. Now, pet peeve number one on the packaging. If you're going to open it up and the book is this way, it drives me nuts that this image isn't printed this way. I know that's probably just me, but like this seems sideways, but yet on the side, again, reads like a book. Open it up, there's the book. So whatever, pet peeve number one. It's not a deal breaker. I'm just saying it kind of annoys me. I do like the yellow, right? There is some nice aspects to it. We'll get to this in a minute. Let's take a quick peek at the book. Now, this is a doozy, okay? This is a nice, thick, heavy, really nice quality book. And there's like, what, 190 some pages, I want to say. Oh, no, I lied, 207. 207 pages. So it's very in-depth, you guys. Very, very in-depth. This little guy's so cute. I love this little bat. So there's acknowledgements, there's a foreword, kind of talks about the deck, and then there's like a full 2-page spread on each card, and it is colored, okay? And what I like about this is it talks about the card, it gives the keywords and the shadow messages, right? And then a deeper message, but it also has these reflections, right? So if you guys have a tarot journal or just a journal in general, and you pick a card a day, it does have some really great reflections for you to think of and journal about. It's absolutely very in-depth, and I do love that. Now we get to the minor arcana. The only, like these 2 pages spread and the pictures and stuff, that's just for the majors, okay? We get to the minors and it gives very, like, I don't know. It gives basic information. Oh, I lied. Oh, I went too far. No, it does give for the minors as well. Good. To be honest, I haven't really flipped through this a lot, but I do appreciate how in-depth it is. It gives you tips for how to bond with your new deck, how to cleanse it, store it, all of those good things. So if you're brand new to the tarot, those are really great to have. Then it gives just kind of basic information about the minor arcana and each suit. It goes into numerology, interpretation, like just quick little keywords, a little bit about the court cards. And then it gives a bunch of card layouts, right? Like the basic past, present, future, mind, body, spirit, 4-season, 5-card element spreads. So, I mean, some of these are really cool, and I'm actually really looking forward to really playing with these. Like, I really want to play with this one. Here it is. The 4-card moon cycle spread, right? So it talks about patterns and cyclic issues and to break unwanted patterns and things like that. So I really, yeah, you know what? Oh, 13 moon spread. So this is like a year spread, right? So there's all sorts in here, which I'm really really looking forward to diving into. Maybe I'll do this one for this new moon. So, and then it's got tarot frequently asked questions and bibliography notes, Monica's information. So very, very in-depth book, you guys. Super cool. Very nice quality, glossy pages. So I do want to show you this though. It's cool. So watch the side of this book as I flip through and tell me if you see anything. Just on the edges here. Do you guys see it? Do you see it yet? Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see the spider crawling up the pages? Did you see that? Whew. Each page it gets higher and higher and higher, or lower and lower and lower, depending which way you're flipping it, I guess. See? Is that not just so cute? The detailing in this is fabulous. It's just a little thing, but I do very much appreciate it. So, great book. I am looking forward to reading it deeper than the flip through that I have, and I'm really excited to play with these spreads at the end. So, okay, enough about that. Let's get into the deck itself. So, pet peeve number 2, okay? It does not come with a string, right? A lot of times these kinds of decks, I mean, it's nice that it has the thumb holes, right? But usually you see the thumb holes and a string to kind of, it makes it easier to get the deck out of. This I don't find super easy, right? Like if you look, I really have to dig to get all the cards out. It would have been that little bit nice for the string, just to kind of like, I mean, the packaging is so nice and sturdy that just would have had the perfect little ending to that, you know. And these do kind of, okay, now I'm gonna put them back so you can see what I mean. I should have said it before, but so they do fit in, but do you see the top just kind of, they do slide around, right? So it doesn't all quite fit in there to the point where it just stays either, right? It's fine if the book is in there, it doesn't move around, but if you don't have the book and it gets shifted, then these pop around. So that's just pet peeve, well, I guess number 3 now, because the no string was pet peeve number 2, so. Anyway, we'll dig down to the bottom. Okay. Let's get into the cards, shall we? So, here are the card backs. Yellow with the bats, which I love the trim. I love everything about these backs. I think they're adorable. I like that the yellow stands out. They are just a little bit like that, little creepy, but kind of like fun. Now, pet peeve number 4. Because I swear to God, I do like this deck. I'm just kind of picky. So, the gilding. The gilding. So, I don't know if you can see that, you guys, but like the edges, just from being in the box, is already worn quite a bit. I don't know. Can you see that? I don't know if my lighting's picking it up, but like you can see on the edges here, just on the edge. Do you see that? There's just that little bit more wear than here. See? Yeah. See, you can see it's like a line, right? So there's that. And of course, you guys, I'm not a huge gilding fan. I'm sure I've said that in previous videos, but I don't love it, right? And it always chips, and I haven't even used this deck this much, and it's chipped like all over. Next thing about the gilding. If you're going to gild deck, can you please make sure it matches? Okay, yellow, neon yellow, pale gold. Neon yellow, pale gold. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't really match to me. And it's the slightest pet peeve. But I mean, like if you're gonna gild it, like maybe gild it in black, right? That would have been nice, like a nice black gilding. But I don't know. It just, like, that's so obvious and so bad how worn that is. But anyway. So I guess I don't care for the gilding. That's what I'm getting at here. It's worn. It doesn't look great. It doesn't match. So maybe eventually we'll see. The more I use it, we'll see. But I might even just like, I don't know, get a nail file or something and file this off just to kind of take it off. Or I might just be lazy and go over it with a black Sharpie. We'll see. Cardstock itself, very thick, right? Very cardboardy, very sturdy. However, again, we'll get into it when I start shuffling the cards, but like it, between the thick cardstock and the gilding, it makes it a very thick deck, right? Like, look at that in my hand. Like, that is fucking beefy. And I have like big hands. And even I find that quite... The only deck that I think is bigger than this that I have, and I actually have it here, I'll show you, is the Modern Witch. And so, like, that's the only one that's, like, slightly bigger than this. But they're pretty, like, do you see? Like, they're pretty similar in thickness. And that is a big, like, there's not that much difference. And this, like, I usually, if I'm going to shuffle this, riffle shuffle, I break this deck into two and do two separate riffle shuffles because it's just big. I mean, it's nice that it's got the thick cardstock, but it's a pain in the ass how big the deck is. And that is kind of the same thing with this deck. It is beefy, not nearly as bad as the Modern Witch, but it is. It's a handful. So if you have small hands, you may find this a little bit hard to shuffle just because it is quite thick. But at the same time, nice cardstock. So it's a trade-off. The cards are kind of like that matte. I appreciate it. It's matte. They're borderless. And it's like almost like a satin finish to them. Like, they feel really nice in the hand, which I appreciate. So there is that. Okay, so let's do a quick flip through here. Very, very quick. So instead of the Fool, we have the Seeker. He lost his head. Little kitty's pointing the way. And it's kind of like blind trust your intuition, right? You might not see the way, but you're just going to go for it. I like that. We have the Magician. He's got all his tools around him in the air, as above, so below. Weird guy. I don't know if you notice, he's got 3 legs. He's a cute little monster type dude. But, yeah. Very cute. High Priestess. She's given me, like, you know, medicine woman, like witch in the woods type vibes. Their little broom, and I am here for it. Love the little bat again. Loving my bats in the background. I think she's just the sweetest little thing. Empress. I like that she is part of the tree. Right? Like, how cool is that? I just think that's a beautiful image. Normally, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really love the whole pregnancy card, but like for this one, I just think it works. Most empresses, like the super pregnant ones, I don't love, but this one I do love. The Emperor, I love, okay, with his pimp daddy jacket, right? Like he looks so styling and he's just living his best life. You know, I love his hat. I love his hat. So cute. We have the Hierophant, very mystic. I love the antlers. So the card, I mean, it's almost cartoony, right? What is that book? That children's book. That very similar artwork it reminds me of. I'll think about it. And then we have this kind of recurring here. This chick reminds, do you guys remember The Ring? God, that was a terrifying movie. Anyway, that's what this reminds me of. And I love that her chariot, she's riding 2 little cute ass spiders. But yeah, very interesting deck. Where the Wild Things Are, I think. I've never actually read it, but I remember that was a big thing back in the day, and that's what this reminds me of. The Hermit, a ghost, right? I love that image of it being a ghost. So again, I don't know why I'm taking so long flipping through these. I'm sure you guys have seen many. The Hanged Man is a bat. Can we just talk about how adorable this is? I love it. Kind of that pause before the rebirth. Perfection. Interesting death card. Again, kind of like that. Two sides, a little bit of like with the egg, he hatched out of the egg, right? So you have like the death and rebirth in the same card, which is nice. Very cool. Nest on his head. Temperance. The Devil. Straight up addictions card, hey? Right? It's very blatant with that. Yeah. Tower. The Star. I love how she has it on a string in her colored hair. Beautiful. I like that she's walking with the little crab or crayfish, lobster, little dude, and the wolf in the moon. So yeah. And here's another, okay, so they've changed a couple names. So we have the Seeker instead of the Fool, which I like. And I also really like Discretion instead of Judgment. Like that is the perfect word. And I am here for it. World. Okay. Minors, we have the Ace of Wands. 2. I love this 3 of Wands. I love the octopus. I love that it's like a lighthouse, right? Like the beacon. 4, 5. So anyway, like I said, this is just a very quick flip through, you guys. It's got all the carrying the heavy load. So I do really enjoy this deck. Okay. The imagery is cute, but yet still kind of spooky. But it's got a bit of a softer vibe now when it comes to the shadow aspects of things, right? It just approaches it with a little bit of a softer, even though it's like a darker deck, it just has that nice softness to it that really plays nicely and pairs nicely with the shadow of it, right? So it's not like you don't feel so, for lack of a better word, attacked or affronted. It just makes diving that little bit deeper just a little bit easier. Like it's a nice deck if you're going to do shadow work with it to ease into the shadow work with, which is something that I appreciate because some days, you know I got to do the shadow work and I love her. I love her. Love her. Her little kitty is stirring too. But it's just like, I appreciate that little bit of a softer side to it, right? And it's like, there's things that you have to deal with and you really have to dive deep into. But this makes it a little bit more fun, maybe? Or not as daunting. Yeah. It just doesn't make it as daunting. Little Harry Potter vibes here. So I have used this to do some readings. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, it's a nice reader. I wasn't really sure what to expect, right? Because I have done client readings with this deck. And it gives nice, clear messages. Like I said, it does delve deep. Like the energy is a bit darker. And it does bring up some, some darker things to think of, but at the same time, it really makes you think. It gives nice messages. It's very clear. It doesn't leave you hanging. It's not very affronting. It's not an asshole. So there's that ring girl again. It's very nice. Okay. It's a very nice deck. And I do really, really appreciate it. Now, I'll show you what I mean by the shuffling. And keep in mind, you guys, when I first got this deck, it was very, very, very stiff, the cardstock. So I did go through each card and do this, right? Several times, just to kind of loosen them up a little bit, right? Because they are, even now, they're still kind of stiff, but I'll show you what I mean. See, it's like those are two pretty big handfuls when you go to riffle shuffle, which I like to do. And it's that little bit stiff still. And that's after working it a bit. So just be warned, if you guys like to riffle like I do, it takes some work, right? And that gilding, you got to kind of break that up. But it is possible. It's just a bit stiff, okay? So keep that in mind. But overall, very cute deck. I'm looking forward to playing with it more. It does read good. It has some very interesting messages that comes up that you wouldn't necessarily anticipate. Like it's a nice shadow deck that lets you think without being too affronting. So there you go. That is my 2 cents on the Shadowland Tarot. I've told you what I've liked. I've told you what I've disliked. But yeah, overall, very nice deck to work with, especially if you're starting in on the shadow work side and you're looking for a nice kind of, you know, softer deck to delve in, right? Like to just kind of jump and take that leap. So let's pick one card. Let's say this one, 8 of Pentacles. And let's just see what the book has to say, just to, there we go. So we have, the keywords are skill, craft, materials, art, creation, practice, technique, and patience. And it says the shadow side are incompetence, rashness, inability, destruction, termination, and frustration. So the message is, this card is appearing right now to remind you that your physical manifestation of skills is vital at this time. How you make things, what you create, and talents shared with others are very important and relate to your current situation or question. This message often appears when you are seeking more from your life and are not sure where to begin. It is a very auspicious time for you to improve a particular talent in which you have an interest. Don't hold back your enthusiasm, even if it seems obsessive, and don't get discouraged if after you've created something you feel you don't seem to be improving. It takes 100 failures sometimes to achieve one success. Determination and focus will help you become an expert at your chosen craft. It may be time for you to apprentice or receive additional training for your particular talent. Receiving mentoring or training at this time is not an indication of a lack of skill, merely an improvement, and is an opportunity to hone your current abilities. Physically, you could be training for a marathon or cultivating your overall health through repetitive exercises or relaxation techniques. Practice makes perfect. Financial outlook for the 8 of Pentacles is asking you to seek someone with financial acumen or improve your ability to organize and look after your finances. In the matters of love, the 8 indicates a need for more effort or skill to be applied to your relationship, even though it is stable. It may be a bit repetitive and dull at this time. Interesting. Okay, so the reflections. So something to think of for us all, since we all pulled this card together. What skill do I feel I could use to improve my current situation? What barriers do I face in improving my skill set? Do I spend the time or have the patience to repeat a craft until it becomes developed or improves? Do I feel obsessed or pressured to be perfect? And if so, what effect does this have? And do I give up when faced with complex or detailed work? So very excellent questions, right? I love that. Like I said, the prompts in this are very, very good. And it really makes you think, and I really, really appreciated that. So there you are. That is the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Bodirsky. That's just my 2 cents. There's lots out there. Let me know in the comments if you have this. Do you use it? Do you like it? Do you want it? And we will go from there. So thank you so, so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I will see you on the next one. As always, bye.